interests are, where they do their studying the best, what subjects they like the best, and then you have counselors who work with the parents to understand that inventory. And so, I mean, it's a very, very personal approach, isn't it?
It is, and I think it really takes into consideration that each child has a life purpose, because I like to believe that every child's curriculum needs to be personalized for that child. And so every single student takes the learning style profile before they begin their classes, and then we customize their needs based on their learning style. So they have choices of over 400 different curricular options, and in addition, they receive credit for life learning. So students who are actors or dancers, or if they're working at their church, or they're on a mission, or they're traveling, receive credit for their life, so that life and learning are one and the same. And so we sort of have that circular approach, which is that first we look at that whole child, their interests, their talents, their ability, and then we decide which curriculum is going to work for them. I like what Joseph Shilton Pierce, who is a wonderful educator, said. You want to make sure that the curriculum matches the child rather than the child matching the curriculum.
Well, I absolutely believe that.
And then we make sure that they have loving teachers who work with them, because as we all know, working with children at home, relationship is at the heart of education. And it's the only way to really make learning a really powerful experience, is to make sure that every teacher you have is your favorite teacher and your best teacher.
I know that you also have pen pal programs for the students, and you have a prom and a graduation ceremony that people fly into to participate in.
We do, and I have to say it's probably the most emotional graduation that anyone ever has. There isn't a dry eye in the audience, because every child is acknowledged by their teacher, and every child acknowledges their parent when they graduate. And so we make sure to keep that personal, purpose-filled approach throughout the whole model of everything we do. Our staff, everyone needs to believe in the vision of the fact that every child is unique and special and deserves an education that really is going to move them ahead in their life. I like to feel that when children leave Laurel Springs, they have grown and they're much better for who they are. I don't want it to ever be a model where we're just getting by. We just made it through, which is sometimes the case in other institutions.
And that's LaurelSprings.com, laurelsprings.com.
That's true. And we really did develop the first online education program in the United States. It was 1994. There were earthquakes in Los Angeles, and all of the libraries were shut. And we had a little girl come to us and say, I need to do a report on Romania. And we did a search on the web and came up with 50,000 files. And my late husband and I looked at each other and said, there's something really exciting here. I wonder what we can do. And we began to develop online curriculum options before it had even become anything that people knew about.
Well, that's wonderful. Well, we've been speaking with Marilyn Mosley with laurelsprings.com. Let's open up the call, Marilyn, and kind of maybe just chat back and forth and share some ideas about helping our children and ourselves discover our life purpose, just making sure that we're really enjoying life, using our talents to the fullest, and appreciating ourselves and others.
That sounds great.
First, hello there, callers. If you'd like, go ahead and come out, press star 6 to come out of mute mode. I know that there are a lot of people on the call, but I would love for you to have this opportunity to connect with Marilyn. I can hear the call coming down. Go ahead. First question.
How do we participate in your program? We just go online and then enroll, or?
Hey. Hi. What we would like you to do is go to our website at laurelsprings.com and read about Laurel Springs. And then what we would like to do is set up a time for you to speak with an enrollment advisor. We like to make sure that every single child has a chance, or a parent has a chance to speak one-on-one with one of our counselors, so that we make sure that we're working directly with you to create a program that fits your child's needs.
To make sure it's a good fit.
Absolutely.
So they just go to laurelsprings.com. Is there a Contact Us button or something there?
There is, and I can also give you our 800 number.
Oh, would you please?
Sure, it's 1-800-377-5890.
Say that one more time, Marilyn.
Sure, 1-800-377-5890. And we work really, really well with children of all ilk, whether they have interests or talents they're pursuing. If it's a child who's been challenged at school, I love working with children who are burned out with school and need some extra support, because we feel that every child just needs the right program. If your child is an honors student and needs to be challenged, if your child is extremely artistic and needs a program that has an opportunity to incorporate the arts or inventiveness, we take the learning styles and we weave them into the curriculum.
Do you help us assess our children?
We do, yes. We do both a learning style assessment and a pre-assessment process as well. Instead of calling it only assessment, we call it a skill survey, because what we want to do is help you to ascertain your child's skills. And then when we can decide what skills are they really strong in and the ones they need help with, then we work with you to work on all of their skills. So again, it's a very collaborative process. You are part of the learning team. We're part of your team, and we help to ascertain your child's skills right from the beginning. We don't like to call it a test, but we like to call it as an assessment or a survey.
Perfect. Thank you.
Any other questions or comments before we let Marilyn go? Of course, it's been 2 weeks now, 4 hours a day. I hate to sign off. This
Hello?
is our 30-second interview. Yes, caller, go ahead.
Is there an age that you would start at, or would it be any age?
What are you, in terms of starting, what are you thinking of starting, a homeschooling?
No. In regards to your assessment, like how young can you start to have the child understand what his own skills are?
Oh, you can start. I found that you can actually begin dialoguing with children when they're in kindergarten and first grade.
Oh, okay.
And work with them on it. And then by the time they're in third grade, they're really capable of making decisions and working with you side by side, so that they're able to actually help you with the process. We had a little boy, he was having a problem in public school. It really was a very easy problem. He just had a teacher who was very, very, very structured. This child was very creative. They were having a hard time together. We let the little boy do his learning style profile, and once he understood that his teacher was a producer and that he was an artist, he understood what he needed to do. And it was very cute because his mom wanted him to spend the rest of the month in his class because he had received Student of the Month. And he said, Mom, now that I understand what's going on, I think I should get out now while I'm still looking really good. Children understand. And if given the chance, they will make sure that they want to succeed, and all they want are the tools to do them.
So it's around like 10 to 12 that they really start grasping their own self then, would you say?
I think earlier. I would say it by 8 years old.
Oh, okay.
You can start communicating earlier than that in the younger grades. It can in very simple form, but by the time they're 8, you can begin talking to your child. And it can be a really simple conversation. And mostly what it is affirming when they express an interest, you affirm and express your appreciation. And then we can help you with the assessment portion.
Much.
What happens if you have this gap where at 8 years old you guys have talked about things, but then there's been a couple years that life has just gone crazy and you've kind of lost that communication and lost the opportunity to give them the opportunity.
Yes, I love that question. It's so perfect because there's never a time when you can't pick it up. I mean, all you do is you start again and you start creating together, dreaming together, working on these programs together. It's kind of like baking a cake. And all you have to say is, for a couple of years we were really busy. We didn't have time to do this. Well, what I'd like to do now is let's start again. Just as if you were taking a class or if Rebecca's running a marathon. You can come in at any point and segue into a program that allows you to do this.